Well, Nigeria is a very fantastic place to be, and our leaders are usually very entertaining and very amusing. I mean, when you listen to some of them, you wonder whether they are eh, you are part of the same social space. The incredulity of their public pronouncements. I really thought the issue of the new old national anthem has been overflowed, and we've had the best of defense and criticisms. But the Akpabio verbal accident is a new one entirely. We are being told that if the old national anthem has been retained, banditry, terrorism, indeed insecurity would not have been part of the Nigeria experience and landscape. It's so unfortunate that it tells you the intellectual aridity of our leaders and our elites. It shows you how much of the dynamics of society they really have, and they claim to be representing and making laws for the good governance of the state. How do you connect an anthem, yes, which is merely emotional signpost of a country? Yes, country could get inspired by their national anthem. That is, if the wordings of the national anthem can inspire, because it also lives in reality. But even if an anthem talks about justice, equity, and fairness, but we find the kind of a criminal enterprise that the country has become, an enterprise being superintended by career criminals. I mean, well, how much will an anthem, whether new, old, or super new, will do in the lives of a country? Banditry, terrorism, or any form of violence, I mean, violence could be as a result of, could become a reactions of the populace or a section of the populace to the kind of maladies that that they experience in society. I mean, here we have hunger pervading the land. In the midst of in the midst of plenty, you have people washing their faces with spatula when they live very close to the ocean. You have employment, youth employment, you have injustice, you have humongous corruption, you hear of public officers stealing money, you hear so many differentiations in terms of sectoral marginalization. People could take up arms to reclaim their space, whether social space or physical space. And no amount of a defined national anthem will do anything about that. So, well, I want to believe it's a kind of verbal accident. We all get, there are accidents, even for the best of drivers, all experience accidents on the road. I want to believe the kind of thing that we had from the president of the Senate. That's the person presiding over. Banditry is a governance issue. It's a governance issue, and I can't even see any connection. I tried to see where the nexus is between changing of our national anthem from the old one, the independent one, to the one that was given to us again in 1978. I mean, it's unfortunate that we can come that low when we are now looking at symbolic things as the main, as something that should address issue of governance. And by the way, what is the whether new or old, of what impact does it do to the policy options that are being churned out, which, whether you like it or not, are linked to some of the insecurity that we experience. So maybe we should give the ruling class, the ruling class, let us give them some time to see how far their theory will get justified. Who knows? Because we have a new national anthem, we can begin to enjoy some form of peaceful coexistence. Even though our tribe and tongue may differ, we want to see how far that will go in resolving the agitation by different nationalities for secession or for, restructuring, whether that will replace restructuring. As long as we have a country that where people feel marginalized, where we have useful and where we read all over about corruption, where some people just feel aggrieved, there's no way you're going to sing the national anthem to them and they will feel that they've had answers to their problems. So I hope we once in a while we need, perhaps we deserve such entertainment by such a that kind of claim coming from the highest, from the temple of laws. I was a bit distressed, but well, sometimes what should distress you can also amuse you, and I was, at the end of the day, I just got amused and said, well, if not because someone you're asking me how I feel about this theory, well, it doesn't make any sense. That's the, but how do you say the man presiding over your law making, which could lead to policy options, which could lead to reduction in security as posed by banditry, terrorism. Somebody who should direct affairs on how our fiscal and economic policy can get better as to put food on the tables of many, how jobs can be created, how we can stop multinationals from exiting the country, how power can be restored so that the welder in front of my house, which has not opened his shop in the last 1 week because there was no power supply in the neighborhood in the last 2 weeks, how we can prevent death by cholera because people drink from unclean water. Now talking about that, all of these are caused by the change in national item. How do people think like that? I don't know. It's all right. Here we are. We're in the country. Such verbal accidents will never stop happening as long as we have people, supposed representatives, really representing themselves. Thank you.